Starum Sound. Welcome to the 2024 edition of the Yule Recommender. We're thrilled to be with you all for the festive holiday season, and Geoff and I are especially excited to be doing so in the same room.
The same room, yes, that's right. We are recording a podcast together in person for the first time since the final episode of The Recommender in, April 2023? I think that's right. And talk about a Christmas present. How good does this feel?
It is like old times, isn't it? And where are we recording today, Geoff?
We're at Starham House, and we're set up in a space where Tray of Sunshine is going to be in a couple of months. Construction is ongoing, as you can probably hear, but things are progressing well, and once I knew that I'd be staying in South Wales over Christmas, this felt like the obvious and appropriate choice for the recording of the Yule Recommender.
I have to say it's absolutely freezing in here. I'm wearing several layers under my coat, and I've got a hot water bottle as well. I don't know how you deal with this every day, Geoff, because you said there's no heating in the room you're staying in either.
Well, you know what, Ioan, I'm a tough older than me, you see, but no, seriously, I do sleep in my clothes, and usually with gloves on too. I've got used to it. And to be honest, it saves a couple of minutes in the morning because I'm already dressed.
I'm pretty sure I got an oil heater in the garage, if you want that.
Oh, yeah, please, that'd be great. There isn't actually any electricity in my room at the moment, but yeah, it'd be good to have it for when there is.
But you did say you've now got running water.
Yes, finally. Although there isn't any hot water. The showers are all electric, so yeah, they're not on.
And yeah, we're recording on my laptop today, running off the battery, which is on 19% right now. So fingers crossed we managed to get the whole podcast recorded before it runs out. We did ask the construction people if we could use one of their generators, but unfortunately that request was denied. Anyway, with that in mind, how about we get straight to the festive Q&A?
Let's do it. Yes, loads of questions as always, and lots about the tour coming up in 2025.
Yes, so let's start with some of those, because about 70% of the questions we received were basically what Callum in Leeds says here. I tried to buy tickets from tnrlive.com on November 1st, but that went to a website for a club night called Thursday Night Ride in Portland, USA. When will this be sorted? Right, so yes, there was an issue there, and what it comes down to is that we gave out the wrong website address. It was supposed to be tnrlive.co.uk. Unfortunately, this has had a negative effect on sales. We missed the initial spike. So if you wanted tickets, tnrlive.co.uk is the place to go. And if you could do that sooner rather than later, we'd really appreciate it, because the deal we have in place with most of the venues relies on a certain percentage of sales. Otherwise, they can just cancel the event. That's just the reality of live entertainment these days. Most of these venues have any number of cover bands ready to take the dates. So please, if you were planning on coming to one of our shows, do us a favour and buy the tickets as soon as you can.
Absolutely. Yes, the next question, and this was really a number of similar questions from, among others, Grace in Edinburgh, Carol in Brighton and Chris in Liverpool, all asking, why isn't the new Recommender Live coming to my city? Well, we love all those places, and we'd love to be able to come and visit some of the bigger cities in the UK. But firstly, it's down to cost, because the venues are more expensive and usually a bit more difficult to book. Secondly, it's because we wanted to visit some of the less fashionable areas in the country. Big tours often miss these places out, and we wanted to change that and give the people something to look forward to. And thirdly, if you look at the layout of the tour, you'll see we've tried to order it in the most efficient way possible. So Dundee, Middlesbrough, Hull, Derby, Luton, Reading, Swindon, Bristol, Newport, Cardiff. It's not a straight line, but it's one big route, so we won't be doubling back on ourselves or anything. Now, that was the plan, but
There was an oversight.
There was an oversight, yes. And what's happened is that the venues have been booked a week apart from each other, which I suppose is meant to reflect the release pattern of the episodes that will be recorded at the shows. But for us, what that means is travelling from South Wales to Dundee, and then back to South Wales, and then the next week travelling to Middlesbrough, and then back to South Wales, and so on. Which, as you can imagine, is hugely inefficient in terms of travel costs and makes the recording process a lot more difficult. We did hope that Dave PA would be accompanying us for the whole thing, but that's off the table now. So we'll have to find another solution there. But on the plus side, we won't have to pay for hotels.
I think we probably will, unless you want to drive back from Dundee and Middlesbrough right after the shows.
Right, yeah, fair point. Okay, yeah, well, clearly it's not ideal on our end, but we can assure you that it won't compromise the quality of the shows because, if anything, we'll be totally fresh and up for it by doing just one a week.
Agreed. And again, sorry to our big city fans. If this tour goes well, then who knows, maybe we'll do another one later in 2025. Next question is from Matt in the Isle of Man, or on the Isle of Man, and he asks, how will you two be spending Christmas this year? I can tell you, Matt, that it's going to be a bit different this year because I'll have a guest in my house from Christmas Eve to Boxing Day, and that guest is none other than Geoff. And it's going to be a great time. We've been planning what we're going to watch, and I've got another batch of my Hedgerow gin that's been steeping since September, ready to be sipped, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, me too. And I'm so thankful to Ioan for inviting me into his home. I mentioned in the autumn update that it was best for me that I was in South Wales at the moment. Well, at the moment has become a permanent state of affairs, and sadly it looks like me and my wife will be going our separate ways. We've tried reconciling, but the marriage counselling sessions were online, and the lack of Wi-Fi at Starham House didn't help matters there. But it's about so much more than that. It's true that the Tray of Sunshine cafe/shop has been a cause of some of the recent issues, but as always with these things, there's a lot more to it, and that's all there is to say, really. It's very, very sad, very upsetting, but at least from Christmas Eve to Boxing Day, I'll be able to take my mind off it and just have a lovely time.
Yeah, anytime, mate, anytime. And for anyone wondering, that was our presentation this year. That was my gift to Geoff. And honestly, I don't need anything in return from him because it doesn't really matter this year.
Well, actually, I have got you something, or rather you will have something. I should probably tell the listeners, since they're not going to see it and it's not ready yet, but I'm going to make a few trays of the combination tiffin and flapjack with the mulled cranberries and Christmas pudding chunks. And in response to your feedback from last year's batch, I'm going to do a chocolate topping.
Oh my goodness. Amazing. What kind of chocolate?
I'm going to make 3 lots, 1 white, 1 milk, 1 dark, and we can see which one we like best. Then I was thinking next year we'll be able to have a seasonal tray bake on sale right here at Tray of Sunshine. And it would be a collaboration between us. And we could call it the Yule Recommender after the podcast.
I am 100% on board with all of that. That's perfect. I cannot wait.
Excellent.
Okay, my laptop is rapidly running out of charge, so how about we get through some quick fire questions. This from Holly in Lampeter. Good Christmas name there. She wants to know our favourite day of Christmas. For me, I would say Christmas Eve, because I think the build-up is usually better than the day itself.
Does she mean like the song, though? On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. If she means that, then I'd definitely take the 5 gold rings on the 5th day. But if it's just the days in general, then Boxing Day, which is like Christmas Day on repeat with just less pressure and less arguments in my experience. Dean from Lincoln wants to know our favourite nativity character. And it might be obvious, but I'm going to go with Jesus. If I was Catholic, I might feel different, but nope, Jesus for me.
Same here. But as a follow-up, if you could choose one of the wise men's gifts, gold, frankincense or myrrh, which one are you taking?
Again, I'm going to have to go with gold. If that's ever an option, that's what I'm taking.
Can't argue with that. Richard in Reading now, who says he's looking forward to seeing us as part of the new Recommended Live tour next year. Thanks, Richard. He asks if we have a favourite Christmas television special. I'm sure we've had this question before, but maybe our answers have changed. I don't know. Mine is the Jolly Boys outing episode of Only Fools and Horses, which went out on December 25th in 1989, I believe, but it's set on an August bank holiday, so that's when I tend to watch it.
Love that one. Yeah, let's add it to the list for this year. Mine would have to be The Snowman, which, even as a child, I recognised as capturing not only the joy and wonder of the season, but also the deep melancholy, short, cold, dark days, grief, loss, despair. And the soundtrack is lovely.
Great choice. Crystal from Leytonstone asks if we've got any resolutions for the new year. Bit early to be thinking about that, in my opinion, but off the top of my head, The ultramarathon is looming, and doing that is my big thing for next year. It's happening in the middle weekend of March, which is sooner than I realised, and it's coming in the middle of our tour, actually, and the next series. But that's okay, we'll work around that. And I'm also pleased to say they've been able to secure sponsorship. Omega Body Fuel have kindly donated a 6-month supply of their complete nutrition solution. Thanks to John Starham for helping to sort that out. I started using OBF on a daily basis a couple of weeks ago, and I can already feel the difference, even before I've started training properly. I'd also like to get some charities involved if possible, for my benefit as much as theirs. So by all means, get in touch, sell me on your work, how much you need the money and so forth. And let's see if we can work out a fundraising deal. How about you, Geoff? Any resolutions?
2 things come to mind. The first is to get the Tray of Sunshine shop/cafe finished and opened, and for all that to go well. Really looking forward to that. Second, it looks like I'm getting divorced next year, so I'd like that to be as painless as possible.
2 very sensible resolutions, I'd say, and they're achievable. Okay, that really is it for us in 2024. The next time you hear from us will be for the start of the new series, all of which, as we mentioned, will be recorded at our new Recommender live shows. A reminder that tickets are now available at tnrlive.co.uk. That's .co.uk, not .com. There's good availability at Dundee, Middlesbrough, Hull, Derby, Luton, Reading and Swindon. And also at Bristol, Newport and Cardiff. So get those tickets bought. Anything you'd like to add, Geoff?
Only to say that I'm looking forward to 2025, to the tour and to the next series of the new Recommender. And I'd like to wish everyone a very merry
The New Recommender is a high-quality content production, executive produced by Ioan Morris and Geoff Roberts. Sound editing by Dave PA. Our theme is 2 for 1 Cocktails by Ramen Shackle.